All right, so let's get into number two. Going in expecting to be caught off guard and see what this is all about. Most people walk into negotiations thinking like, I hope the other side doesn't get mad, or I hope this conversation doesn't last more than an hour. But when you hope things don't go poorly and they do, you get freaked out, which derails your ability to be flexible. In this kind of situation, you'll have an avalanche of negative thoughts brewing in your mind, which affects your cognitive ability in the moment and makes you less smart slash dumber. To illustrate, I love to go fishing in the Rocky Mountains, grizzly bear country. There's a good chance I'll run into a bear sooner or later when I'm out there. Luckily, I haven't come close yet, but if I'm out there thinking, I hope I don't run into a bear, all of a sudden I stumble upon a bear bed. I'll probably pass out on the spot and things won't end up too well for me. Instead, I go out there expecting to run into a grizzly every time. That way, if I ever end up face to face with one, I'll be mentally prepared to not freak out, react accordingly, and level headed. So walk into each negotiation expecting to be caught off guard. When you're expecting the other side to say things that make no sense or go against your priorities, you'll maintain your composure when the conversation takes a turn for the worse. Okay, so when I read the title of tip number two, go in expecting to be caught off guard, I assumed that he was saying to go into negotiations expecting anything and don't be prepared don't be prepared so much. Um, what really he's saying, from what I gathered, is learn so much that you are prepared for anything. So go into it knowing, or get your skill level up to the point where you go into any situation knowing whatever happens, I got it. Don't worry about it. He goes this way, I do this. He goes that way, I can do this. I can do this. This actually brings me to another point of sales where people ask you questions or certain things that you don't have the answer to. And what I can tell you from experience is you never lie, ever. You never try to stretch things that aren't true. You tell them, I don't know that. Or that's not my area of expertise. Or I have to ask my manager about that. Um, because I see sometimes younger guys who are into sales and somebody asks them, well, what's the cap rate, what's the commission chart, whatever it is, they don't know the answer to it and they try to figure out a way to answer. Just don't. Just what you can do is this is being prepared to be caught off guard. Somebody asks you something you don't know the answer to, you say, I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll get back to you with it by the end of the day. If I told you, I'd be lying. That goes way more of a way because the minute you try to make something up or try to, just throw something out there, they see it right away and go, this guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's just making bullshit up. So this is a great point, is to be prepared. This is really saying be prepared. If you're going to go into the Rocky Mountains and there's grizzly bears there, go out there thinking, I'm walking into one of these things today. That's why I got my gun on my hip here. And if this one jams, I got one on my ankle. So, grizzly, no problem. Then you walk into things more confidently, too. You go, whatever happens will happen. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. Yeah, great point. So, there's tip number two. See you on tip number three.